This is the 4th day of October. This is my dear friend, Gregory Washburn in Poughkeepsie. Gregory, how are you?
Oh, fine. I'm very good. So,
Thank you for doing Glendora Pass It On. These are the things that come to me in the mail, and I want to know if they would be of help to you, and so we're trying it out. Well, I can't read this, Gregory. What is this came in the mail?
This is a sales flyer from Albany RV sales.
Oh, okay. I guess I don't want an RV.
And
Right there beside you, honey.
RV sales.
Now this is interesting. I can see from the big print it's charter, and they say no contract. What is that all about, Greg?
Oh, contracts. If you have a home and you want to get cable television services, then you call them up and they say that we can give you 2 years for $79 a month for 2 years for the triple play, and you're kind of you have what you have for a certain amount of time. But here they're offering their deal says no contracts and no. Sometimes if you get in a contract and then you want to terminate it early, there's a fee associated with that.
Rip
And
off. That's you, AT&T. That's an awful thing.
That's it. TV, internet, and voice. They have it. $29 a month for 12 months when it's bundled together.
Greg,
And,
what channels do they give you for that $29?
Oh, they're such.
Public access has to be on the lowest tier. That's a law.
Well, that's a good question. What do they give you? Well, they have different packages, packages of channels, and they may give you. I've been in some places where a cable news network, CNN is like the biggest news channel in the country, the world, and some places they'll charge you extra just to get it, and they should have been just a basic channel that they provide to you.
Greg, is it true that CNN is selling out to AT&T?
That I haven't heard about that. That's I don't know about that myself. So, but I know a lot of things. Time Warner was bought by Spectrum now, which is Charter.
Yeah.
Which is a big company. That's caused a lot of changes, and normally change can be good, but in the battleground of the cable industry, there's winners and losers and every day. So.
Well, good for you, Charter. Month to month, folks. $29.95. Charter, Glendora, Chat with Glendora is on several Charter TV stations. Winston, Willimantic, Newtown, which is 16 different municipalities, going from Hartford to Danbury. Chicopee. And my friend Billy Adrian is the manager of Public Access TV in Worcester. I am reading to you now, or I'm asking Greg to read to you now, from the North American Vegetarian Society. I would like to know, Greg, if you would be so kind as to read this poster to them.
The North American Vegetarian Society in New York, and this month is a World Vegetarian Month, the month of October, and a Vegetarian Awareness Month, and this is from the North American Vegetarian Society, and they're promoting World Vegetarian Day, which was kicked off just a few days ago on October 1st, and every meatless meal can help reduce the risk of major killers such as heart disease, stroke, and cancer, while cutting exposure to foodborne pathogens. provide a viable answer to feeding the world's hungry through more efficient use of grains and other crops. Save animals from suffering in factory farm conditions and from the pain and terror of slaughter. Conserve vital but limited fresh water. It conserves water, which is a very precious resource. Fertile topsoil and other precious resources. It preserves irreplaceable ecosystems such as rainforests and other wildlife habitats. Oh wow, that's something there. Decrease greenhouse gases that are accelerating global warming. Mitigate the ever-expanding environmental pollution of animal agriculture. And they have a free 16-page booklet. You can contact the North American Vegetarian Society for their free 16-page booklet. Vegetarianism answers to the most commonly asked questions. And their website is www.worldvegetarianday.org.
There's some little piggies. All they want you to do is to love them. They don't want you to brutalize them and force them into cruelty all of their lives. And this little piggy, I'm going to show you, you can see the anxiety. Excuse me, Greg. You can see the anxiety in his poor little mind. He's saying, are you going to hurt me? Are you going to hurt me? What are you going to do to me? You can see it in his little eyes. Greg, tell him what the cake is all about.
The cake is a kind of a special thing we made up there of tutti frutti confection, homemade. It's about as homemade as it's going to get for us today. And as far as convenience goes, and we just whipped up the ingredients, and the recipe calls for eggs. We did not put eggs in it. We put in a egg substitute to replace them, and whipped up the ingredients, poured it in the pan, and put it in the oven and baked it for 35 minutes. And lo and behold, the cake looks pretty good.
It rose beautifully, didn't it?
Yeah, it rose good. So
now, tell them what we used. We used 1.5 teaspoons of egg replacer to 2 tablespoons of water. Come over here, baby. Come over here. To 2 tablespoons of water. That's 1 egg. And we did that 3 times. And what is this egg replacer? It's made out of arrowroot, starch, and tapioca starch. That is your, what do you call it? When it sticks it together.
oh, it's I don't know.
Yeah,
It's
that's what holds it
binds
together.
It binds it.
Yeah, that's right. And it does smell delicious.
It's a binder. Yeah.
Too bad this isn't smell-o-vision.
Yeah.
What's this, Greg?
This is
Come here, baby. Come here. Come here.
It's another flyer on the World Vegetarian Day,
Oh.
which was October 1st, and it was established as an annual celebration to promote the joy, compassion, and life-enhancing possibilities of vegetarianism to the general public. Let's see now.
Very good, folks.
It's the Vegetarian Day is a awareness month, is a campaign to prominently advertised in Vegetarian Times and Veg News magazines. Vegetarian Pledge Contest, and they're having a contest. If you go for a month with eating no meat, You could be eligible for a prize or drawing for up to $1,000, and they have handouts and posters and things like that. Just promoting a vegetarian eating. Alright, so
This is Our Town magazine and comes out every month, and they are very assiduous as to listing the meetings of the Glendora Vegetarian Club the last Wednesday of every month, and they're very assiduous about telling 5 jokes from the Glendora collection.
our town.
What is this, Greg, please?
Oh, this is the. Oh, this is a savings for a the your pharmacist to get savings on drugs and vitamins at your pharmacy.
Oh,
It's a
okay.
on your saving money on your prescriptions, which today prescriptions cost a lot of money for medication and things like that.
No prescriptions here. Vegan, 89 years old, no doctors and no medicine. And no drugs here, no veterinarians here, because we're all vegan. Isn't that right, .com?
Yeah, and this
That's
is
.com cat.
this is
Here is the bank statement.
.com the cat. There's
Would you read to the people the checks that were written and to whom?
what,
And
checks
how
are
much?
in- Sure. Oh, okay.
Okay.
All right. Well, here's one for what check? A check for $9 written out to the advertiser.
Oh yes, to pay for the ad in the classified to get a home for a kitty, and it didn't work at all.
Oh, it didn't work. So.
No.
Oh, really? Then there's there's one for the $20 written out to the Alpha Care.
Alpha Pregnancy Care. Women who get themselves into trouble by
Pregnancy
choosing
Center.
self over others.
And $20 for them. And then there's one for a Compassion Over Killing in here.
Oh yes,
$100 for
Yes.
that,
for saving animals.
which is for saving animals and things like that. Then there's Sue St. Pierre here for groceries.
Sue St. Pierre,
There's $88 for
that was groceries.
the groceries.
She's she's so nice to get my groceries for me. She pushes 2 carts.
American International College. There's a $20 donate to them. It's Glendora's alma mater that she graduated from in back in the 50s.
50.
Class in 1950. And then there was another check for the advertiser here.
How much?
$25 for the
Oh, that's
advertiser.
for the photographs they put with the article.
And it should say that in the advertiser, you have a little column in the advertiser where you advertise your vegetarian supper club, and you also tell jokes and things like that in the advertiser, which I'm sure not everybody knows about that. But then there's one check written to the Sunshine Club in here.
Sunshine Club. That is a club just in Nassau, this town. That is an emergency fund. If people can't pay the money all of a sudden to get their car fixed and they can't go to work, well, the Sunshine Club loans them $500. I don't think they ever get paid back.
And let's see, we got that's most of those. Is there one on here? Montgomery County. Does that sound familiar?
Montgomery County, that's in Maryland, and they like to have a fee for public access, which of course is illegal because public access means public. It doesn't mean a private organization.
And so
How much was that?
think it says $20.
That's good. That'll keep things going a couple
All right.
quarters.
Yeah, that's those checks there, and here's some more here. We got one for another for the Alpha Care Center there,
Another one?
and then the
How much is it?
$30 for the Alpha Care Center, and the Seventh Day Adventist Church, $138 for food, for vegetarian food, and for
That's
the
for you.com.
for the .com's food, because she gets a special care package, comes here once in a while from by the grace of Amazon when they decide to mail it to us, and
How much was that?
there's $138 there. That's for her, I guess, her kibble or food, and there's one in here for
Kibble. There's your kibble.com. How
There's
much
one
was that? 40?
There's one for a check for the Seventh Day Adventist Church for 118. That's for your
Yeah.
food, for your vegetarian links and things like that. And one for the another one for the advertiser there for the
How much?
it was, I think $8.
That's another ad
$8 for an ad, I
for
think.
the kitty cat.
And
And it didn't work.
and
Nobody called.
here's one for the St. Mary's Church in here.
How much?
$30 for St. Mary's Church.
Oh, that was, I paid for
For
Maureen,
the
typing up the piggy plea and typing up the glories of Chatwick Glendora to send out.
oh yeah, there's one for countryside rentals, I guess.
Countryside Properties, how much is that?
It says I think $1,600.
$1,600. The rent is paid until January 1st, 2018.
Okay, all right. Then Darlene Meppen.
Darlene Meppen,
$50
$50 for the museum
museum rent.
rent.
And then there's a Betty Webster in here, $10 for
That was for helping me get my programs back from Willimantic.
St. Mary's Church. And Deborah, there's a Deborah, I think it's Holden, or
Oh! $400?
yeah, $100 for
That was for sending vegan meals
vegan
to the
meals.
flood victims in Texas.
And that's and from what I heard the last week that they were able to send, I think, 500 meals to down in Texas to help out all the people that got affected by the flooding from the hurricanes that caused a lot of damage down in Texas. Okay, yeah, I think that's it for that.
Well, that was fun. Friends of Animals, this month came their new magazine. And Gregory's going to read the contents to you.
Yeah, Friends of Animals. Action Line. Okay. Oh, Friends of Animals. So do you want me to just thumb through it quick and?
Yeah, why don't you read them contents, what they're writing about.
Oh, Friends of Animals. Yeah, it's there's a
Content?
from the fall 2017 edition, Action Line. A special report on the horses in the U.S. In crisis, it says. Then there's a story on the Friends of Animals that intervenes in the owl wars of all the some endangered species are the owls.
Of the owls?
Yeah, owls in the
Oh.
forests, and the forest owls they they live in trees and they make their homes in the trees, and with all the logging, there's a lot of logging going on in the old forests and for the wood. And when you cut down a forest, and plant a couple saplings that take 20, 30 years to grow, that affects the animal life and the ecosystem in the countryside. It can't help but have an effect upon that. And to this day, there's a lot of the mills need wood, and what do? They just cut the big old trees down, and then sooner or later, all that's left is like a lot of younger trees growing, and but the big old trees that's what they want, and they cut them down for their lumber.
And then the owls don't have a place to live.
Also in South America, in the rainforests in South America, all the wood that used to be found in America has been logged out, and now they have to go down to the South America continent to
ruin it.
To go down to the rainforest down there to get more wood because there's such a demand for it, and
don't buy wood products.
That's how it affects our ecosystems. And there's stories in here about the Friends of Animals, the 60th anniversary here.
They had a party in Brooklyn, and it was $65.
Oh, really?
To get in, yeah.
And
I asked Anthony Riddle to cover it, and I don't think he did.
Anniversary of the Green Building in Brooklyn, New York, where they enjoyed a vegan dinner by the Cinnamon Snail, and mingled during a reception and auction. And there's some photographs of it all here. But let's see. Here's one about the horses here. About in 2016, 114,000 homeless horses were transported out of this country. It says for slaughter or for human consumption. It says in here, which that's something. But and there's an article in here all about that. So
people, how can you do those things?
And so
where is your soul? Where is your heart? You know where your soul is. Where are you?
But the horses are beautiful. I drive up from where I live up to visit Glendora, and I go past countless horse farms or stud farms, and you could see a beautiful green field and these majestic horses out there grazing and just going around eating, and it's just a sight to behold. Really, it's just it feels like I'm living back out in the West in the old days. That's what it seems. But they're beautiful horses. I mean, I thought that I knew what a good-looking horse looked like, but then you see just the shape some of these in. They look like thoroughbred horses. They're just amazing to see. And,
well, I'm glad you have that through.
That's the one thing for the drive up here. So, and there's photos in here, and it talks about the what's happening in today's world. So times are changing a lot, and social lives of trees. There's an article in here about the social lives of trees and foresting by the like I was just talking about. So anyways, book reviews. There's book reviews in here.
I either enumerate or I name my trees friends.
Friends of Animals. So all right. So.
Thank you, dear. What's the name of this hymn, please?
This is Lead On, O King Eternal.
Oh, thank you. The day of fun is come. Let me write it down, please. Yeah, lead on, O King. L-E-A-D. Okay. And what's this one, honey?
Yeah, this is in Christ there is no east or west.
In Christ there is no east or west. Okay, no east or west. And the name of this one, hon?
Yeah, this is oh Jesus, I have promised.
Oh Jesus, I have promised to serve thee to the end. Be thou for never near me, my master and my friend. And who's this one, huh?
This is
I shall not fear
all people that on earth do dwell.
Okay. All people who on earth do dwell, sing to the Lord with cheerful voice.
And this is a praise to the Lord the Almighty.
Praise ye
Praise to the Lord
the Almighty, the King of salvation. Praise him, my soul, for he is thy strength and salvation. Thank you. Those are your hymns for the week of October 2nd. I am going to read to you the meats that are available as vegetarian meats, no animal suffering: hot dogs, bologna, chicken, turkey, salami, ham, fried chicks, which is a chicken breast, leanies, which is the best hot dog there is. But, Worthington, if you would only use tapioca root instead of eggs, they would be vegan instead of vegetarian. Steaklets, Swiss steak, tender bits, which is a pork substitute, and tender rounds, which is a hamburger. Now, Greg, the last time you were here, you read page 1, page 2, right? You read this one and this one. And then the last time you were here was September 27. Now would you read October 4? This is from the Christian Vegetarian Society.
All right. Okay. Joyful, compassionate eating. And I'll continue from here. Speaks about farms and protecting animals. Don't laws protect farmed animals? In the United States and many other countries, standard procedures on farms are all legal, regardless of the pain and suffering that they cause. Practices such as bodily mutilations, which would warrant felony animal cruelty charges if done to a dog or a cat, are perfectly legal when they're done to a pig or a chicken. At the slaughterhouse, humane slaughter laws are weak and poorly enforced, and they exempt the slaughter of birds. Laws to improve conditions on farms would be desirable, and an even more effective way to prevent animal abuse is to reduce or eliminate the consumption of animal products. And that's in here about what about humane meat? Even though farmed animals do not always suffer equally, it is never humane to kill a young, healthy animal. People should know that terms like farm fresh have no meaning, and organic and local do not mean humane. Free range can and usually does involve intensive confinement and painful mutilations, and small farmers have generally embraced the same or very similar practices of large corporate animal factories. Why do people eat meat? For many, it is the taste, texture, or convenience of flesh. However, as Christians, we must ask whether such desires reflect Christian values. Is eating meat really the right thing to do? The benefits of a plant-based diet. Your health, your body is a temple of the Holy Spirit. When we eat right and exercise, we are better able to serve God. We feel more vigorous and alert, and we can attain and maintain a healthy weight. The American Dietetic Association, America's largest association of food and nutrition professionals, notes that well-balanced vegetarian and vegan diets reduce the risk of heart disease, high blood pressure, diabetes, obesity, cancer, and other conditions. The Mayo Clinic Healthy Letter similarly promotes a plant-based diet. For important plant-based nutrition information, see christianveg.org/nutrition.html.
Hold it, honey. Christian what? Christian what?
It's a Christian VEG
VEG
.org slash nutrition .htm. But that's the website. I'm sure it would be easy to look it up and see more nutrition information on that.
Okay.
And
This is so true, and I want you to remember that when you eat these poor animals, you're eating dirt. These animals have been suffered their entire lives in urine and feces and dirt, with no clean place to go and no streams to wash themselves in. And the food that they are given is dirt. How can you eat that contaminated flesh? What's the name of the director of Our Piece of the Pie, a social service agency in
Hartford.
Hartford, yes.
There's a agency in Hartford, Connecticut, called OPP, stands for Our Piece of the Pie, and they help disadvantaged youth become economically independent adults.
Like the woman who wanted to be a nurse.
Through education, they
And
helped
helped
them
to get her degree.
help them get a chance to go to school and take classes and to better themselves. And she inevitably did graduate, and she was placed in a job in her field of interest.
What's the name of the new director?
But there's a new director for the OPP, Our Piece of the Pie, and her name is Enid Ray. It says, meet our new CEO, Enid Ray here. She's been a resident of Hartford since age 3. She seems like she's more than qualified, I would have to say. And why it says why did she come to OPP? Because OPP has always been an innovator to solve unsolvable problems in Hartford and the greater Connecticut area. Her childhood dream was to become an attorney and to act as an advocate for her community. And her weekend activity, she likes boating and the river, Connecticut River, with her family. And this is we welcome her to the job, and I'm sure she's more than qualified. I think she's got a PhD, and
Oh, she's a PhD?
yeah, she's got the
Dr. Enid
has
Ray.
the education. Yeah,
Dr. Enid Ray.
yeah,
E-N-I-D?
yeah. Enid
And the last name's R-A-Y?
R-E-Y. So
Ray, King. Can you read? These are jokes, folks.
Yeah, these
Can
are
you
some
give me a
of,
hint of the first one?
Well, along with Glendora's many talents, she has a sense of humor, and we're gonna illustrate this right now. Let's see now. Let's see. Making decisions is one of the first one.
Oh, does your husband make decisions faster now that he took the course in psychology? Yes, he does the wrong thing faster by now.
Then it says only 2 ears.
Only what?
Only 2 ears.
Oh, yeah. You've wanted to be an eye doctor, and then he decided he'd be a dentist because people have only 2 eyes, but they have 32 teeth.
And then there's it says early stages. It says on
Yeah, the man sitting in the doctor's office waiting and waiting said, I hope that the doctor would catch my disease in its early stages,
Oh, yes.
meaning he's getting old.
Oh, then there's it says a close call, it says.
Yeah, the doctor said to the patient, "You had a close call. It was only your strong constitution that pulled you through." And the patient says, "Oh, well, thank you, doc. Remember that when you make out the bill?"
So, yeah, and it says poor substitute, it says.
Yeah, a diploma is a poor substitute for an education.
And get his exercise, it says.
How does he get his exercise? By jumping to conclusions and stretching the truth.
Stretching the truth. It says back to hometown, it says.
A man went back to his hometown, and only 3 people remembered him, and the rest of them didn't know that he'd left.
Oh yeah, oh that's something, huh? It says name is in everything. It says.
What is it, dear?
It says name is in everything. It says here.
I give up on
Well, then
that.
there's one. It says give up golf. Give up golf, and or change and rest. It says.
No, we did that one. We're almost down at the bottom.
Oh, somebody else's pants.
Teacher, if you reached in your left-hand pocket and brought out $10, and you reached in your right-hand pocket and brought out $15, what would you have? The boy said somebody else's pants on.
Oh yeah. Well, that's something.
Thank you so much.
All right. So then there's
Is there anything more here of value? This is the little flyer that the electric company puts in our bill, and sometimes it's valuable information. You covered the CO, the carbon monoxide. Is there anything
flyer.
else?
Oh, I see. Well, they talk about keeping costs steady with if you're on a budget plan.
Nah, we don't need that.
But,
Just pay it.
But there's
It's only $80.
yeah, reminders about meters, clearing the path to your electricity meter,
Yeah.
and don't hang items from gas pipes.
What? Don't what?
Don't hang items from like
Oh,
pipes
really?
that have gas.
Oh,
Um,
I didn't know that.
But anyways, well, in today's I'm kind of a little bit old-fashioned, but in today's day and age, of course, everybody has their own apps, and the power company has their own apps, and they say, well, you can pay your bill over the phone and take care of your account that way. I'm kind of like, I kind of like keep doing it the way we always used to do it, but go automatic with the direct pay, and direct pay allows you to pay your bill automatically from a bank account.
No.
And
What else?
there's a renewable energy with Green Up. It says the Green Up program gives you the option to have all.
Hey, folks. Here is something. Here is something that you are: amiable, sweet-tempered, kind-hearted, good-natured complacence, having those qualities that cause a person to be like friendly. That's amiable. This is put out by the Beagle Association to stop the experimentation on beagles. Can you imagine experimenting on a little beagle dog and then just throwing him away? Yeah. Can you imagine that? When all that little dog wants is your love and your companionship, your loyalty and your faithfulness. And Brother Gregory, you read this one, right? And you read this one,
Yeah.
and this one. And did you read this one? I think you did. And there's this one, and this one.
Oh, I see beagles.
Okay, why don't you read those 3
All right.
or 4 or 2?
Cool. Let's see. Oh, well, they talk about the testing, testing of drugs and things on animals, and seeing if it doesn't, like, testing in an animal is not the same as in a human, and there's a vast what works with one thing won't work with something else, so it's really not that valid of a test for different things, and there's been new vaccines and drugs that they tested for years, and the help from that has been postponed because of they weren't testing on the humans and all that, but there was testing on a dog or something, and that it's not the same as the human being's
The results are
body.
not
So
the
yeah,
same.
the results are just not the same. Let's see. Misleading experiments on corticosteroids were tested on humans as a treatment for septic shock, only to find that the treatment resulted in significantly more deaths.
Really?
And, yeah, sometimes that does happen. And there's vaccines for HIV and AIDS in here. They showed promise in animals. They have gone to clinical trials too. It turns out that they think that the animal testing was okay, but they try it in people, and then it fails. The testing fails in people. And let's see.
Did that finish it?
Yeah,
You
that's
did
about
the
it.
other one. That finishes it, right?
Yeah.
The
that's it.
Beagle Association to stop this terrible cruelty to our sweet little baby animals.
But it's not always, to test on the animal, just as a human, it's just not, sometimes it's really not that comparable. The results just don't show promise for that. They don't show that there's any help at all, so.
I would like to have, this is also put out by the Beagle Association. Gregory's going to read you the trademarks of companies that do experiment on animals. Avoid their products, boycott them.
So they have, some of the, there's a lot of familiar names on the list here. They go from, but this is put out by it says learn more at bfp.org, the Beagle Freedom Project. Well, some of the companies that test on animals is, a copper tone or chapstick, and Crest. They make Crest toothpaste, or actually Dove soap.
Buy Tom's toothpaste. No testing on animals.
Dove soap.
No animal
And,
products.
And Mary Kay or Avon. There's also Head and Shoulders. Head and Shoulders, Palmolive, Vicks, Windex, Woolite, Ralph Lauren, Pantene, Pine Sol, Rogaine, Johnson & Johnson, Oral-B or Nivea, or Iams, or the Band-Aid, and 3M or Purina, Arm & Hammer, and AccuView or Aquafresh, and a lot of them make detergents or makeup products, and Tresemme or Tommy Hilfiger, Off, which is a mosquito repellent, Old Spice, and D&G, Dolce and Gabbana, Elizabeth Arden, and Chapstick, and all. There's a lot of familiar names on the list right here. We have CoverGirl, Redken, or Unilever, or P&G is Procter and Gamble. It's a lot. Well, if they test on animals, I would think that by this day and age, here in 2017, we would move away from testing products on animals, especially when it's not a comparison to a human being's trial. So
I didn't know that, folks. Many of those products I use, I will not use them again. Many of them. I don't know what this is.
This is this is from the American Vegan Society, a garden party from May of this
okay.
year. It's just a list of the speakers and what was spoken about.
Good for you, American
And,
Vegan Society.
The
Garden party.
Yeah, that's it. I'm not sure if I was at that. I don't think I was. But
No, Greg, tell the folks what this is, please.
this is list of. I'm not sure. How would I describe this?
You would describe this as the 10 Commandments in children's language.
10 Commandments in children's language. Yeah, that's it. 1 through 10. I'll read them right now. Love. So is good words of wisdom to live by. Love God more than you love anything else. Number 1. Number 2. Don't make anything in your life more important than God. Number 3. Always say God's name with love and respect. Honor the Lord by resting on the 7th day of the week. Number 5. Love and respect your mom and dad. Number 6, never hurt anyone. Number 7, always be faithful to your husband or wife. Number 8, don't take anything that isn't yours. Number 9, always tell the truth. Number 10, be happy with what you have, and don't wish for other people's things.
Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Yes.
Let me sum it up this way, everybody. I see God as helping others. I see Jesus as helping others. Now read the first commandment again, would you please?
Love God more than you love anything else.
Love helping others more than you love anything else. And read the second one, please.
It's don't make anything in your life more important than God.
Don't make anything in your life more important than helping others. Gregory, is there anything you'd like to say before we sign off and go out to Walmart and paint the museum?
No, I can't. Let's just say that I think that to live with all the new products out today, it would be easy to transfer from eating meat and animal products to go to a vegetarian lifestyle of eating a vegan, plant-based food. That would be certainly healthy for your heart and heart disease. And but that's it. God be with everybody, and I hope you enjoy this. Hope you enjoy this show, and maybe this has been informative and educational for you all. So.
And thank you for all the education you give us. If you will shut down the camera, I will sing them a closing hymn.
So, all right, okay.
With God we go to spread the joy of life. We win each day the happiness of love. We count our blessings, we give thanks, we give joy. Stop the cruel, oh, stop the cruel. Folks, I know where I left off 2-3 days ago on giving you the record of care and share. And I didn't want to go do the recycle tubs. It was Tuesday morning, that's recycle day. And it was 9 o'clock, and I didn't want to go and do the recycle tubs. It's heavy work, hauling those full recycle tubs up that deep slope onto the tree belt, onto the curb. But you can't let anything like that stop you. So I went out and I go to get the recycle tubs and they aren't there. They're gone. I look up to the curb and there they are. Somebody took out the recycle tubs besides me. Was it Morgan? I don't think so. I asked Morgan to do it 2 or 3 times and he failed to do it regularly. Well, did they clean out the trash barrel in the laundry room? Whoever this angel was. Yeah, the laundry room was all swept clean. And the dryers and the washers were all closed up and the lint trays were empty. Who is this angel? Well, I'm thrilled. Isn't that terrific? Now, who did that? Did you do that, Mr. Otterbeck? Did you send somebody to do it? You must have. Why, that's the first time in 5 years or 4 months that I didn't have to take out the recycle tubs. Perfect existence. Perfect delight. So then I went to number 3 recycle tub. There's 1 recycle tub for every 2 apartments. And recycle tub was empty, and my neighbor, after I'd made all the effort to go and tell him he could use that recycle tub, he just didn't do it. And he didn't put anything in the dumpster I said that he could put in because it was only 2/3 full. So I went across the road, which is a dangerous road, and posted the out mail. And a man was so kind and so solicitous. Not only did he stop to let me go by across the street and watch for me to be okay, but when I got on the other side and turned around and bowed to thank him, he talked to me. And I said thank you, and he said you're welcome. That was Tuesday morning. And it was great because there wasn't any litter on the porch. Fed the birds big bowl of rice. The grass that I got.com was not good grass. And I think that was a morning that I couldn't make the Facebook picture come up to take the picture. It would take a snapshot, but it wouldn't take on video. And I didn't know what to do. And I pushed all the wrong buttons and I erased about 10 jokes. I've got to do them all over again now. And the exercise the body, and then able to do 10 telephone calls, and Gregory ran out of gas coming up here from Poughkeepsie. Then he took the wrong turn, and instead of getting here at 10:30 when he's supposed to start to work, he got here at 5 after 12. So in no uncertain Anglo-Saxon terms, I let him know. I put up with that with Austin for 5 years. Can't get to work on time. Well, Greggy and I, first of all, we did descriptions onto the 10 shows that I had uploaded. I can't do the descriptions, I can't see them. I can't see the screen. So he's adept at that, and I was grateful. And then I think we tried to make the prima donna, the Epson copier, which is a grand piece of equipment. But it makes a few copies and it wants something. Well, it wanted a yellow. So we put in a yellow. Then it made a few more copies and it wanted a magenta. Then we made 2 or 3 more copies and it wanted a black. And then it didn't want to work. And we were trying to print a piggy plea about the poor piggies. They don't understand why they come into a world of cruelty and meanness all of their lives, in the transportation truck and in the slaughterhouse. Well, so we gave up on the Epson, put it aside, and then I gave Gregory a pile of emails that I'd collected, asking people over the phone what their email is so that we could send them the glories of a chat with Glendora. A chat with Glendora is such a success because of the many, many, many people who executed it, who expedited it. And so, you know, the manufacturers, the cable TV companies, Congress, the state law, the municipal law, all of the people in the TV stations. So, we finished those up and we did the contacts. Then we went back to the Epson and he decided to print a little, and then he decided not to print. And his cartridges cost $55. And they last about 10 copies. Gregory wants me to go to the library and have the copies done, and so does Austin. Well, I really would rather do them here in the Happy House. What do you think? Then Gregory went through the Hewlett-Packard and took care of all of the in-mail. We haven't heard from the BronxNet thing yet. And that takes a long time to go through the Hewlett-Packard laptop. Then we went through the LG Android Wonderphone, computer phone. And we cleared that all out. It was acting funny. It was acting strange. It was acting a little sick. Contacts into voice dial, because I can't see the screen to dial and I can't even see the number on the card to dial. And well, let's see. We did not order anything from Amazon this trip. We did do on Wednesday, Glendora Pass It On with Gregory Washburn. That's the information that comes in, which might help you. And so we pass it on to you. The character generator we did Wednesday. When I left it after making those 10 half-hour TV shows, the character generator was in the middle of the screen, and the crawl was way outside of the screen, way down at the bottom where nobody could see it. So I just turned it off and left that until Gregory got here. Well, he went over, we turned it on, and it was fine. The malaise had gone. And then he sat for an hour and put up 5 or 6 new pages of information for you to crawl along the screen at the bottom. And then he sat down for an hour and a quarter and taught me how to run the Canon camcorder. And I didn't like the Canon camcorder because I had so much trouble with it. It's all touchscreen. And I couldn't make it work, and it was such a bother. And I didn't like the Canon camcorder, brand new, $315. You know, like only 5 or 6 months ago. But he went through and showed it to me. And it's a magnificent piece of work. My goodness, all of the things that it will do. And that's what you're being made the video now on that Canon camcorder. So what else was on the to-do list? Wrap? We didn't have to. We have only 3 weeks. Weeks 1, 2, and 3 for Newark through Norfolk. 6 TV stations, 2 hours each. Each video 2 hours each. It'll be 16 by the time we get them ready to send out to each TV station. So we didn't have to wrap. We're having a party. This is the last party before we go on a regimen of saintly eating. No candy, no desserts, no bread, no spreads, no spread in the hips. So we made a cake. We baked a cake, a tutti frutti cake. And it was very interesting because the recipe called for, besides the cake mix, it called for water, vegetable oil, and eggs. Well, we're not going to use eggs by any means. Those belong to the hens and the roosters. That's their children. We're not going to eat them. So we have an egg replacer, and it consists of arrowroot starch and tapioca root. And you take 1.5 teaspoons of the arrowroot tapioca, and you mix with it 2 tablespoons of water. And you stir it all up, and it begins to look like an egg. And it required 3 of them, so we did that 3 times. And it came out beautifully. It was a beautiful cake. Walmart has been adjourned until this afternoon. This morning, Gregory is at the museum, the Glendora Franklin Museum for the Preservation of the Pro Se Public Access newspaper record. And he is painting columns 7 through 12, a lovely orange. Not this kind of bright orange, but a cantaloupe. It's called cantaloupe. And he will affix the labels, brand new labels we made, all printed up nicely, for columns 1 to 6, which were painted last week. Blessed assurance, helping others is ours. Jesus is mine. Oh, what a foretaste of glory divine, heir of salvation, purchase of God. We made an appointment with Eddie Weisberg, Eddie's Auto Repair, to have new ball joints, new arms, and an alignment for the 1997 Chevrolet truck. And we made the appointment for October the 25th, Wednesday and Thursday. It's a 2-day job. It's going to cost $900, and we put away $300 in the bank already for it. Next week we're going to put another $300, and then the third week another $300, so it will be paid for in cash. The second day it is done. We put $100 into the bank as the first installment for Gregory painting the museum. It was a contract I made with him, $400 to paint the interior of the museum. So we put $100 for that in the bank. I didn't tell you that we did the banking. That was all done very successfully. $1,000 in checking, $400 for the rent for this month, and it isn't due until January 1st. $300 for the repair, the front end, and $100 for the painting the museum. So the finances are good. The finances are perfect, really. This morning, we are having trouble with no mobile network on this magnificent slab, LG Android Stylo 2. Gregory has a new LG Android Stylo 3. So we put Straight Talk on this one this morning, but we still have no mobile network. And when Gregory gets back from the museum, before we go to Walmart, I will ask him to go to Straight Talk and see if they can repair it or replace this mobile network. Give Straight Talk a chance to do it. We were behind 3 days in exercise the body. We loaded the mini audio cassette recorder, which is a beauty. It's a Sony, it's a beauty. Makes beautiful voice recordings. We replaced it with a new microcassette, and it's for midnight meditations, in case you're awake at night and things are running around in your mind. Then you put them on tape and you seem to be rid of them then in your sleep. .com is very well. She ate tender bits this morning with nutrition yeast, and she's fine. I had to clean out her ears with hydrogen peroxide and give her relief. Oh, that's a terrible thing, that affliction. Now, what have you been doing? Can't do any telephoning because I don't have a mobile network and I'm 3 days behind. Let's see. Hymn. And we're up to hymn 81 or 2. Lead on, O King eternal, the day of joy has come. Henceforth in fields of conquest, we'll do everything we can. Through days of preparation, thy grace has made us whole. And now, O King eternal, we sing this joyous song. Jokes? Jokes. See if we can find some. The jokes are all mixed up because I messed up the Facebook. Why do you take your paycheck to the bank? As soon as you get your paycheck, you walk it to the bank. Why? It's too little to go by itself. Chinese telephone book is not going to be published any longer. Why? So many wings and so many wands, people are winging the wrong number. I believe we are up to date around 10 o'clock on the 5th day of October, Thursday. The joy is a hat room, how everything is organized in the hat room. And that was nice that Debbie Holden came down and refreshed us with a very upbeat, positive look at life. Okie dokie. We have the Canon on 1 hour and a quarter. It's very short, but it is the best quality video. The SD card will take up to 41 hours of video, but that would be the lowest quality. Hi there, my dear folks. It is, we're here to exchange with each other the glories of helping others on October the 5th, Thursday. And where we left it yesterday, I had to correct a very bad mistake. I erased a whole week's of jokes on Facebook. It happened to be the week where the code was yellow, and I don't know if I did a good job or not. And also they all had to be uploaded. I thought they already were uploaded. They were not. The magic slab, the phone, decided not to have any mobile network, but Gregory filled the phone with Straight Talk before he left for the museum to paint columns 7 to 12, to paint them orange. Not this orange, but a cantaloupe orange. You want some more food? You want some more breakfast? Here, why don't you eat it off your table where you don't have to bend down so low. This is .com cat. So, I hope that was remedied, although it is not as good as the original. The next job was the expenses into the book every day had been neglected Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, and that just couldn't go any longer. And so an attempt was made to fill in the sheet. And we're doing a different kind of record. We're doing it this way horizontally rather than vertically. I hope that's an improvement. You want an example? Expenditures, October 2017, Anno Domini. We put down the date, like 5 Thursday, October 5th Thursday. We start out with, say, $1,619, $1,619. We spent $19, and so that brought it down to $1,597. And what was it for? It was for a set of bowls. I really wasn't sure that I needed it or that I wanted it, but Gregory hastily started tearing open the package, whether he knew he was going to buy it or not. That is wrong, Gregory. That's somebody else's property, and you are destroying it. You don't destroy the packaging until you pay for it. Here is the Straight Talk card. This is a new one for November. The Straight Talk is renewed until November 11th. Armistice Day, Veterans Day. Then Gregory came back, and the first thing I said to him, you know, Gregory, we should ask Straight Talk to take care of the problem of no mobile network instead of asking Walmart. Go directly to Straight Talk, and that's what we did, and Straight Talk fixed it immediately. The solution was to turn the phone off, completely off, way, way, way down off, and wait a while, a minute or so, then turn the phone on. And Straight Talk called me up, and I had a mobile network, and I could call up Straight Talk, or I could call anybody. I had a mobile network. Would that help you any, to know that? And then I said, Straight Talk, would you help me with another situation? I want to go to Google for encyclopedia information. You go to an encyclopedia to get information, well, you go to Google as an encyclopedia. It's got to be just so. And I would like to have the information come by voice, because I can't read, and they print it out. So they fix that. Like I can call up and say, I can say to Google, who is Sam Walton? Sam Walton is so and so and so and so and so and so, all orally. Well, then we packed up the end. We're getting the end of the party. The party's over. The party's over. Let's call it a day. And no more after October 5th, Thursday, starting today.